Hi guys, and welcome back to another Generating Conversation episode with me, Jake Burrows. Today we have one around our talent team at AVK, and right now I'm joined by Ollie. Welcome, Ollie.
I'm the head of talent here at AVK. I joined just over 6 months ago.
He basically makes it happen for any new talent that comes into the business. It's a quite important person at AVK. Now, obviously, we are doing incredibly well as a business and as an industry across the board, and we're looking to potentially double the size of our business by 2030. What's the real constraint when it comes to that from a talent side? Is it winning the work, or is it gaining the actual talent itself?
It's definitely a people thing, right? We're so uniquely positioned as a business now in terms of what we're offering. Every year there's a new product, new service that's coming out there. So it's about, can we get the right talent in the right roles and at the right time? That's the biggest thing for us.
Do you ever see a lack of engagement from people out in the market?
Not at all. I think if you're watching this and not in the data center market or construction market, what are you waiting for? Yeah. This is the time to get in. There's so many opportunities, new roles coming around. Actually, for us, it's can we get that right skill set into the right team, and how do we do that? Assessment and matching as well.
Perfect. So, also joined here by Tianna. Tianna, welcome to the podcast episode. If you want to give a bit of background to the audience of who you are.
Thank you. So I'm Tianna. I've been with AVK for about 3 years now. I work as the Early Careers Talent Specialist.
Nice. Obviously, you helped me get my job, so thank you very much. Do you need experience in order to get involved in AVK and in the industry?
Definitely not for every role. I think there's a number of roles where you can come in with no experience within the industry. We look at not just the names you have on your CV, but also the experience you have, the projects you've owned, things that you have done.
So obviously the data centre market has absolutely boomed over the last 3 years in terms of investments from governments, the money that's going into it. How has that changed the talent map, would you say, of the industry?
We've got a real talent challenge for us at the moment at AVK. We're not unique to the industry. There is suddenly a huge demand for the skills that we have, and they're not immediately there in the industry. So we've got to find different ways to go and find them, the different adjacent industries that are there, different transferable skills that can really help be a great addition to AVK as well. So we're looking at that from career changes, we're looking at that in our experienced hires, and crucially also in our early careers as well.
So hiring is an art rather than a science at AVK, as you can take me as an example of that.
Absolutely.
But what makes a great hire?
Yeah, it's a great question for us. AVK is scaling massively, right? And it is not a place for everybody. So we look for a few really key things about a great hire at AVK. That first thing for us is we're in a high trust environment. We need people that can adapt to really kind of ambiguous environments, be able to navigate the greys, take ownership really quickly. If people are able to do that and really enjoy that, they're going to be a great hire here at AVK.
So we've actually just had a bunch of interns start today, as we do, because we have partnerships with universities across the country where we get a new batch of 3 to 4 people that come in to learn from us and do essentially their placement year. How would you say we support early careers at AVK?
So I think we've realised just how important early careers is in terms of bringing in that new experience and being able to kind of train them up to become our next experts. So it's really about us taking the time to support them with coming into the business and really getting an overview to start with, and then from there going out into their teams and being able to learn about what it is they're interested in, if that's electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, or just across the business, and also getting those on-site days where they can go and see hands-on what it is that they are actually interested in and be able to learn that way.
Nice. And then in terms of kind of like mid to senior level, is there ways we help people learn how to manage or, support them in their later life of career, should we say?
Great timing. Just yesterday I was on some manager training, our L&D team's rolling out and doing a lot more in our leadership framework for the rest of the year as well. But it starts all the way from what Tianna mentioned there around apprentices and grads and interns. Once they then join there, what their progression looks like, all the way through from those junior roles and then actually into the mid-senior and experienced hires that we've just been talking about.
So as we mentioned, we have interns and we have partnerships with some universities across the country as well. Do we have any stories of interns becoming graduates or them coming back once they finish their degrees?
Yeah, definitely. So we've had, I think it's 2, maybe 3 lots now of our interns who have now come back and become graduates. And we've got some of them that are actually now leading the new interns that we have here. So it's definitely some success story in that.
Awesome. So some of you might know I work in enablement at AVK. Too long to explain to you exactly what I do at AVK, but it's very important. But we also have a learning and development person, Scott, who we'll probably see in a future episode of Generating Conversation. But he's come in to kind of build a framework to support people and the talent at AVK. How would you say you guys work with L&D?
Yeah, great question. And that L&D team is growing. So in the next month or two, there will be not just one person, but 3 or 4 into the L&D team, because we've invested a huge amount at the moment into what we're doing to really develop and help our team at AVK to progress. So that's all the way through about how we create a centralized and kind of consistent experience, the AVK way, if you like, about how we develop our people. We've got a really great reputation in the market and industry of high quality work. How do we help people maintain and improve on that standard? So a lot of that's on the job training, but also it's your manager, your leadership training, bringing in expertise, the best practice in the market, and giving all of our team members access to that throughout the year.
Yeah, it's something that I've definitely seen change in the 2.5 years that I've been here, is in terms of how we're making sure that we educate the workforce at AVK in their roles, not necessarily in terms of what they do, but to support them in terms of their responsibilities and their roles across the business.
Yeah, and we're growing so quickly, right? Like every year there is a new product or service we're putting out. We're the innovators in the market. So there's a huge amount of work we've got to do to make sure our own teams are really equipped to be following that up and really delivering the best work we can.
So obviously once someone's come into AVK, they're set up, they're in their job, they're in their swim lane, what kind of other opportunities can they get from AVK internally?
So there's definitely opportunities for them to move, whether that's move in department or they want to stay in their role. But we have opportunities now in Europe where they can go out there and relocate and do their job out there. So we've got a lot of opportunities for people should they want that change.
Awesome. I mean, we've got, I think it's 10 offices across Europe at the moment, and we're, as Ollie said, we're ever expanding. Is there a kind of difference you see between UK and the rest of Europe in terms of applications and things like that?
I'd say so, and we know we're doing a huge amount of business already in Europe, arguably just as much in Europe now as we are in the UK. We've got a great reputation, both from a kind of business and customer point of view in the UK, but also as an employer. We haven't got there yet in Europe, so there's work for us to do, and if you're listening or watching this now, we are absolutely coming to lots of sites in Europe and going to really establish our presence there as an employer of choice.
If there's ever an office that opens up in Mauritius, can you make sure you put me down on the list?
We'll get you top of the list,
Yeah,
Jake, 100%.
Yeah, fantastic. So obviously we mentioned earlier around the data center boom, and I think something that is quite apparent right now is a lot of insecurity around careers across multiple industries. How would you rate our industry versus other industries in terms of career stability?
Yeah, I mean, there's a huge amount of uncertainty everywhere, right? But I think if you're looking at the data center market, but in particular data center power, I can't see many other industries being as robust as the one that we're in at the minute, which means there's more of that stability, more of that opportunity that's going to be available to people. So if you're hedging your bets, I'd certainly do it at AVK in our industry.
I mean, the one is definitely there, you know, with the government saying that power plants now, data centers are a national infrastructure, it's definitely a sign of where things are going.
Yeah, well, I suppose leading on what we said there, to really back up where we think it's going, it can't do it if it hasn't got the skills and talent to help it to grow. So what I would expect to see over the next few years is a lot of industries or adjacent industries and people coming from everywhere really will start to join data center industry, data center power, and really help us fuel what we're going to be doing next.
Yeah, and an eclectic mix of different skills
That's
for
it.
sure is coming its way. And I guess, Tianna, just to kind of wrap up, what bit of advice would you give someone in terms of getting a career in this industry?
Yes, I think it would be, don't worry about if you don't have all the experience of a job that we're looking for, because one of our values is to try new things, and you could have 70% of that and we could teach you the 30. So definitely still apply if it's something that does interest you, because we can help you bridge that knowledge gap that you do have.
Brilliant. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today, and appreciate everyone watching another episode of Generating Conversation. And we'll be out with another episode very shortly. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.